Let's get right into it. Number 1, streaming login risks. You might think sharing your Netflix or Disney Plus password is just a friendly gesture, but it's actually a legal gray area that most people never consider. When you hand over your streaming login to a friend, your partner, or even your parents, you're technically violating the service's terms of use. These companies have clear policies stating that accounts are for household use only, and sharing outside your home can be considered unauthorized access. In the United States, this can even fall under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, which means you could, in theory, be committing a federal crime just by letting your best friend binge-watch the latest series on your account. Of course, streaming companies rarely go after individual users, but the risk is real. In recent years, platforms have started cracking down, sending warning emails, and even blocking accounts that show suspicious sharing activity. The psychology behind this is fascinating. Sharing a password feels like an act of trust and closeness, almost like giving someone a key to your house. But in the eyes of the law and the streaming giants, it's unauthorized access. So next time you casually text your login to a friend, remember, you're not just being generous. You might be breaking the rules in a way that could have real consequences. Number 2, free font pitfalls. Downloading a stylish font for your next project might seem harmless, but it's a surprisingly common way people break copyright law without realizing it. The internet is full of websites offering free fonts, and it's tempting to grab one for a school assignment, a business logo, or even a wedding invitation. However, most fonts are protected as intellectual property, and their creators often require payment or a specific license for commercial use. If you use a font without the proper rights, you're essentially using someone else's artwork without permission, just like copying a painting or a song. Many people assume that if a font is easy to download, it must be free to use. But unless it's clearly labeled as free for commercial use, you could be opening yourself up to legal trouble. Even big companies have made this mistake. There are stories of major brands having to reprint thousands of materials after discovering they used an unlicensed font. The reality is, font designers put a lot of time and creativity into their work, and copyright law protects their efforts. So, before you click download, check the license. That cool cursive or bold headline could cost you more than you think if you're not careful. Number 3, accidental streaming piracy. You might think you're just being resourceful when you find a website that streams the latest movies or TV shows for free, but you could be stepping into the world of digital piracy without even realizing it. Many people believe that as long as they're not downloading anything, just watching a stream online, they're in the clear. Unfortunately, that's not how copyright law works. In many countries, including the US and UK, simply streaming copyrighted content from unauthorized sources is considered infringement. It doesn't matter if you never save a file to your computer, just viewing the content can be illegal. The lines get even blurrier with the rise of gray area streaming sites that look legitimate, but don't have the rights to the content they offer. These sites often pop up with flashy ads and promises of free entertainment, luring in viewers who just want to catch up on a show or watch a new release. The reality is you're not just a passive viewer. You're participating in copyright violation. While it's rare for individuals to face prosecution, authorities have cracked down on both site operators and users in some cases. So next time you're tempted by a free stream, remember, what feels like a harmless shortcut could actually make you an accidental digital pirate. Number 4, screenshot legal issues. Taking a screenshot is second nature in our digital world. Whether you're saving a funny meme, capturing a private message, or archiving a paywalled article, it feels like a harmless way to keep or share information. But what most people don't realize is that screenshots can land you in legal hot water, depending on what you capture and how you use it. For example, screenshotting and sharing private conversations without consent can violate privacy laws, especially if the content is sensitive or damaging. In some cases, this can even be considered defamation or harassment if the screenshot is used to embarrass or harm someone. It doesn't stop there. Screenshots of copyrighted material like ebooks, subscription articles, or exclusive photos can also break copyright law if you distribute them. Even sharing a screenshot of a paywalled news story on social media can be considered unauthorized reproduction. The law is still catching up to technology, but the risks are real. Many platforms and publishers are starting to take action, issuing takedown notices or even pursuing legal claims. So, before you hit that screenshot button, think twice about what you're capturing and who you're sharing it with. That quick snap could turn into a legal headache if you're not careful. Number 5. Hidden driving offenses. Most drivers think they're law-abiding citizens, but the truth is, many of us break traffic laws every day without even realizing it. Take driving barefoot, for example. In some states and countries, it's technically illegal, even though it might feel more comfortable on a hot day. Eating or drinking behind the wheel is another common habit that can get you in trouble. While it's not always explicitly banned, it can be considered distracted driving, which is punishable by fines or even points on your license if you're caught after an accident. Then there's the issue of using your phone at a red light. Many people assume it's safe to check a text or change a song when the car isn't moving, but in many places, any use of a handheld device while in the driver's seat is against the law. Regardless of whether you're stopped, even honking your horn for non-emergencies like expressing frustration at a slow driver can be illegal in some areas. These small infractions might seem harmless, but they can add up to real legal consequences. So, next time you get behind the wheel, remember, the road is full of hidden rules, and breaking them could cost you more than just a guilty conscience. Number 6. Cookie consent myths. Every time you visit a new website, you're greeted by that familiar pop-up. We use cookies to improve your experience. Most of us click accept all without a second thought, eager to get to the content. But what you might not realize is that this simple action can have legal and privacy implications. By accepting cookies, you're often giving companies permission to track your browsing habits, collect personal data, and even share that information with third parties. In regions like the European Union, strict laws like the GDPR require websites to obtain informed consent before collecting data. But many users don't actually read what they're agreeing to. The problem is, these pop-ups are designed to be confusing or annoying, leading to what psychologists call consent fatigue. We get so used to clicking through that we stop paying attention, even though we might be agreeing to more than we realize. Some websites even use dark patterns, tricky design tactics to nudge you into accepting all cookies instead of just the necessary ones. While it's rare for individuals to face legal trouble, you could be unknowingly waiving important privacy rights or exposing yourself to targeted advertising and data profiling. So next time you see that cookie banner, pause for a moment. Your quick click could be giving away more than you bargained for. Number 7. The agree trap. We've all done it, scrolled to the bottom of a long terms of service agreement and clicked I agree without reading a single word. It's become such a routine part of using apps, websites, and software that we barely notice it anymore. But what most people don't realize is that clicking I agree is more than just a formality. It's a legally binding contract. By accepting those terms, you're agreeing to rules and restrictions that can affect your rights, your privacy, and even your wallet. For example, you might be giving a company permission to use your data in ways you wouldn't expect, or waiving your right to join a class action lawsuit if something goes wrong. Some terms of service even include clauses that allow companies to change the rules at any time without notifying you. And if you use a service in a way that violates those terms, like using a personal account for business, or accessing content from a restricted region, you could be in breach of contract, which can have real legal consequences. The reality is, most of us have no idea what we're agreeing to, and companies count on that. So, next time you see that I agree button, remember, you're not just clicking away a pop-up, you're signing a